99% of all issues faced by public servants can be positively impacted by engaging in just 4 basic habits. Stick around. As public servants, we undergo a litany of responsibilities. We're required to perform, sometimes at a moment's notice. Our reaction time has to be accurate. Our physical conditioning has to be on point if we want to be effective at a high level. Here are 4 basic habits that you as a public servant can engage in to make yourself a better person out there and to have longevity in your chosen career. Basic habit number 1 is hydration. 75 to 80% of your brain is made up of water. Now, for both men and women, it is recommended that we consume 8 to 15 cups of fluids every day. Now, without proper hydration, that can lead to dehydration. And dehydration presents a list of problems for us as public servants. Dehydration will negatively affect your cognitive functions, such as perception, reaction time, decision-making, and concentration, all of which are vital tools for the public servant. Dehydration also affects our physical performance, fatigue onset, our athleticism, our ability to engage in physical activity on the job. It affects our speed, our power, and our recovery. So ensure that you are getting those 8 to 15 cups every day of fluid. And I'm not just talking about water. You can also hydrate yourself through the foods that you eat. Some foods are very good for hydration, such as berries, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuces, all of which are delicious. Now, speaking of water-rich foods, that brings me to my next point. Number 2, your diet. Now, if you're noticing a bit of a trend here, I'm not giving you anything that is groundbreaking. These are all things that we generally know about. However, for the life and career of a public servant, these 4 habits become so paramount because if we aren't appropriate about our habits, the people we serve won't get us at top performance. The old saying of trash in, trash out is so true for a public servant when it pertains to your diet. Now, stress itself will affect the type of foods that we gravitate to. When we're stressed out and the job is really getting to us and we're experiencing that service fatigue, the natural inclination due to that stress is to reach for sugary foods and high-fat foods. But if our diet has an appropriate amount of fruits, vegetables, and healthier fat choices, those choices can actually reduce stress. This is because those healthier food choices will help us balance insulin, it'll help balance cortisol and other hormones. Public servants, be purposeful and plan for the future with regards to your diet. Diet has a significant effect on stress. The world will stress you out enough, but when you add on the extra stressors of being a public servant, now it becomes more important for you, for us, to make healthier diet choices. Habit number 3 is sleep, proper sleep. Again, in the life of a public servant, we are faced with a lot of challenges day in and day out. And if we haven't engaged in proper recovery by way of sleep, we won't perform at the level that the public needs us. Insufficient sleep worsens stress. That's right, it makes it worse. We already know it's going to be there. Insufficient sleep will lead to declines in our mental health. It'll compromise our physical health. It'll increase fatigue, and it affects our mood and focus. Now, for a normal person just trying to get by in the world, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is probably enough. However, for a public servant who has decided that they want to fulfill their contract to the public, it becomes even more important to get proper sleep. And for that reason, we as public servants need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Now, with shift work and everything else that comes with being a public servant, you may ask, how do we get there? How can we engage in that proper sleep and that recovery cycle? Along the way, a psychologist once told me about the 3-2-1 method, and it makes a lot of sense. And here it is. The 3-2-1 method. Those numbers pertain to hours prior to going to sleep. 3 hours before going to sleep, make sure you stop eating. And extremely important to this is also no alcohol. 2 hours before sleep, stop your workload. Stop looking at emails. And if social media is causing you stress or anxiety, or if it's getting your heart rate up, stop that as well. And 1 hour before sleep, no smart devices, turn those screens off. That blue screen can actually affect your melatonin hormone and negatively affect your ability to get proper sleep. Number 4, basic habit. We all know what this one is, right? Public servants, exercise. Exercise can help us in so many positive ways. It improves our sleep, and there's nothing like that post-workout feeling. Now, when I'm talking about that post-workout feeling, I'm talking about when you engage in a really good, solid workout, not one of these torturous workouts where you're shaking or nauseous afterward. Working out will make you look good in that uniform or whatever you happen to wear to work. And if you're cheap like me, working out can save you money. Working out will lead to you having to buy fewer uniforms, fewer work clothes, because you're not on that yo-yo of gaining weight, losing weight. It'll make you consistent throughout the years. Now, here's another huge benefit of exercise, and that is it improves brain function. That means problem-solving skills. That means focus. That means your ability to decipher things, your ability to figure things out. And we all know as public servants, that is required of us daily. You're making a career out of essentially making decisions, sometimes with very, very little information input. And let's not forget the confidence that comes with staying healthy and engaging in exercise and being ready when the moments come. Now, here's another benefit that is so wonderful for public servants who engage in exercise. An independent network of research scientists found that exercise is just as effective and sometimes more effective at fighting the symptoms of depression. That's right, exercise is as effective or more than medication at relieving the symptoms of depression. Now, these 4 basic habits, if you incorporate them, what you'll find is they kind of create a bit of a wheel for you. In other words, exercise leads to better sleep. Better sleep leads to better diet. Better diet can lead to better hydration. And it goes around and around and around. Now, we live in a realistic world as public servants, and I know just as much as you do that it's not always feasible to go to the gym. It's not always feasible, due largely in part to shift work and things like this, to get fitful rest. So part of the good news of these 4 basic habits is that if you lack in one area, the other 3 areas or 2 areas can help compensate for that, which is a wonderful thing for us as public servants. So again, 4 basic habits that we all need to engage in: hydration, proper diet, proper sleep, and exercise. I hope you got something out of this video. If so, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing. We'll be back with more videos to help you be the best public servant you can be. Until next time, here we are at the edge of the world. I bid you all peace. Be safe out there and keep the faith.